Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Jay. Here to here to talk about the 2025 SummerSlam results and the highlights. Oh, okay. And the highlights of the show. I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 Okay. On the camera's on. For a video. Um. Anyway, SummerSlam 2025. It was a two night event from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, in East Rutherford, New Jersey, and we're gonna go over a little bit of the card. It was a very exciting card. It was one of the best SummerSlams in a very long while. Usually, um, these past couple of years, 2022, 2023, 2024, SummerSlam has been really lackluster, but this year they really delivered. The two main storylines going in were the two title matches. Gunther versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight title, and John Cena defending the WWE title against Cody Rhodes. So, and also a very prominent featured tag team match. Two very prominent featured tag team matches. One involving two celebrities, Logan Paul and Jelly Roll. Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre teaming up to take on Jelly Roll and Randy Orton. And also Roman Reigns and Jey Uso teaming up to take on Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, managed by Paul Heyman. Another prominent women's match is the match between Tiffany Stratton defending the women's championship against Jade Cargill, and Naomi taking on Io Sky and Rhea Ripley in a triple threat match. Other prominent feature matches: Sami Zayn versus Karrion Cross, um, Solo Sikoa taking on Jacob Fatu, Dominic Mysterio taking on AJ Styles, and the Wyatt Six, Andrade and Ray Phoenix, DYI, um, and a multiple six-pack challenge match featuring teams such as the Wyatt Six and the Street Profits. So, okay, let's go over the card. What did I think of it? Well, the opener was pretty decent. Jey Uso and Roman Reigns taking on Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. I was surprised this opened the show. First, you get the guys singing the national anthem. Then you get Cardi B coming out. She was the host of it, cutting a promo talking about she loves her some Randy Orton, and all that. She was getting really involved. She was having online beefs on X with several wrestlers, including Naomi. And then she released a video talking about, oh, I tried to mess with them WWE girls, but they're too big or whatever. So, the hometown crowd loved her, and she got a pretty good ovation. But now for the first match, it was incredible. The thing I hate about Jey Uso, is his entrances are so long. It took Jey Uso and Roman Reigns forever to get to the ring. I was watching it with friends, and they were like, yo, the match hasn't started yet. Nope, the match didn't start. But once the match was underway, man, Braun Breaker and Roman Reigns both bust their asses, man. Roman Reigns did this dive over the top rope, hitting everybody, and it just blew the roof off the place. Roman Reigns is obviously still the tribal chief and the most popular star in the company thus far, even though they're trying to make Cody Rhodes that. And the babyface was win. You know, I was very surprised by this. I like Bronson Reed's new gimmick. Bronson Reed's new gimmick is the tribal thief. And instead of the Ula Fala, he has the sneaker Fala. The Shula Fala. Right? The tribal thief. They're making it about him stealing a pair of Roman Reigns' Jordans, which Roman Reigns is about to become the first wrestler ever to get a Nike endorsement. Charlotte Flair, the reluctant partnership of Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, defeating Judgment Day by pinfall. So once again, the babyfaces go over, but not without a hiccup though. In the course of the match, Charlotte Flair did punch out Alexa Bliss and knock her out. So there is the sanction among the ranks of the new tag team champions of Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Okay, Sami Zayn defeated Karrion Kross with Scarlett by pinfall. A lot of fans were upset about this because even though Sami is really liked and he's been like the underdog since since Royal Rumble 2023, and even before that when he was with the Bloodline. They really wanted Karrion Kross to win, and the fact that he didn't really pissed a lot of people off. Tiffany Stratton, and here's another surprise to me. Tiffany Stratton defeats Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill's another one. You know, when she first came in from AEW, there was a lot of steam on her, and people thought, you know, maybe her and Rhea Ripley was going to be a thing, maybe her and Charlotte, but apparently not. Tiffy Time goes over clean. Drew McIntyre. So, Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul defeat Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. This is the match I said. Basically, the storyline behind this, Jelly Roll is coming into WWE, and Logan Paul is calling him an outsider. And people are like, who are you, Logan Paul? Call anybody an outsider. You know, you're brand new to the business. You just started, what, in 2022? He had his first match. Him and The Miz against the Mysterios at what, WrestleMania 38? You know, so who are you to call anybody an outsider? Jelly Roll's promos were pretty good, but obviously Jelly Roll is not in the physical condition to be a professional wrestler. I think he was way in over his head. He could have been Randy Orton's corner man or something, but he was not in the physical condition to be a professional wrestler. And the match kind of sucked. You can't throw everybody in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Logan Paul, that's one thing because he was a boxer before that, right? Well, kind of a boxer, kind of like his brother, a gimmick boxer. But still, it takes athletic skill to be a boxer the way that the Paul brothers be in boxing and competing, even with not even the highest level of boxers, but with any level of boxer, like, you know, the likes of, especially to hang in there like he did with Floyd Mayweather years ago. So he's an athlete, and obviously the wrestlers are athletes, Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. But Jelly Roll is a great performer and a great singer and a great personality and has an inspirational story, but is not a professional wrestler. But this show was packed with many celebrities. They showed Fat Joe in the crowd. They showed Sugar Sean O'Malley, the UFC fighter, in the crowd. A lot of people in the crowd for this WrestleMania. Celebrity packed. One person that was in the crowd was Nick Hogan. Nick Hogan, you know, they did yet another tribute to his dad. Mentioned that Hulk Hogan was undefeated at SummerSlam, never lost, and had his last SummerSlam match in 2006 with Randy Orton. The rest of the likes of Shawn Michaels, Macho Man, Zeus, Earthquake, Sergeant Slaughter at the biggest show of the summer in SummerSlam. But Nick was in attendance. Okay. Um, Finally, the main event match. CM Punk taking on Gunther. Now, the story of this obviously is that Gunther, I pronounce Gunther. I think it adds more gravitas to his personality. It emphasizes his Germanness. I like the name Gunther. I know the announcers like Wade Barrett and Michael Cole, they announce it Gunther, and some other YouTubers pronounce it Gunther. I pronounce Gunther. Anyway, Gunther, the Ring General, you know, won the World Heavyweight Championship, obviously back from Jey Uso. And since then, he's been on a tear. He retired Goldberg. Goldberg had his last match, famously cut short his retirement speech against him, you know, and he's just been on a tear since winning the World Heavyweight Championship back from Jey Uso, kind of redeeming himself from the loss he had at WrestleMania. And CM Punk, who also suffered a loss at WrestleMania, is out to redeem himself too and win his first championship in years, since, of course, he was gone from the WWE for more than 10 years. So he's out to win his and he was one of the 400 and something day run in the beginning of, November of 2011, not losing it until 2013 to The Rock. So he's a legend, right? CM Punk. So they want to see him win it again, right? He won his first World Heavyweight Championship in 2008. Right, and here he is at SummerSlam. He's had some great SummerSlam matches. 2013 against Brock Lesnar. Right, so it's CM Punk's moment to win the World Heavyweight Championship. It's a great match. Gunther really delivered as Punk's opponent and really protected Punk, because Punk, we know that Punk is heavily injury prone. Punk is very injury prone to the point where he gets injured all the time. So you want to protect him, and Gunther did just that. Sometimes it felt like Gunther was just placing him on the ground when he was powerbombing him. But CM Punk wins. But then we hear the music, and out comes Seth Rollins on crutches, and he's hobbling to the ring. And then he turns around, and it's a fake out. He drops the crutches. He's no longer injured. Seth Rollins comes in, cashes his money in the bank, and boom, becomes the first ever, the second ever behind Gunther, two-time World Heavyweight Champion. So leaving out in New York on night one, the Dangerous Alliance, or Paul Heyman's group, is successful. And he hugs Rollins, and Seth Rollins is now your new World Heavyweight Champion of WWE. And a lot of people were mad. They wanted CM Punk to keep the title. They wanted CM Punk to have a run, but this Seth Rollins and CM Punk feud keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, with more and more intricacies and more layered. It's been going on since Punk returned way back in Survivor Series 2023. And speaking of champions retaining, Naomi, night one. Naomi, Io Sky, and Rhea Ripley. And this was really special with Naomi for her entrance. Her dad played her, played her entrance music on guitar as she was coming out. So it was really special for her. And her heel turn has really been working out for her. Unlike John Cena, her heel turn is really working out for her, giving her a lot of rejuvenation in her character. And she retains in a hell of a triple threat match. The six pack ladder match, the Wyatt Six won it, of course, because they're pushing them, and you know, since Bray Wyatt's death, they've been a semi-major part of the storylines. Now the Intercontinental Women's Title, Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. Yeah, this match forgettable. I mean, Lyra Valkyria, she tries, but she really isn't any good. Throwaway match. Solo Sikoa defeats Jacob Fatu. So Solo Sikoa is now um, the United States champion, and I think this was done to further. Damien says he's glad that WWE didn't turn Cody heel. Um, yeah, we're gonna get there, Damien. But this is fun to further the feud. Jacob Fatu is a huge star, and having him chase the U.S. Championship against Solo Sokoa's bloodline, JC Mateo, and uh, now Teletanga there is money. So uh, in a way, it was cool they did that. Dominic Mysterio defeats AJ Styles. Yeah, AJ Styles is really winding it down. He'll be soon retiring, and Dominic Mysterio, 20 years ago, debuted at SummerSlam for the first time ever on WWE TV in the I'm Your Puppy storyline between his dad, Rey Mysterio, and Eddie Guerrero. And now he retains the IC championship. The Judgment Day storyline with Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan out on injury surrounding Dominic Mysterio survives on. And then finally, the match that Damien was talking about, Cody Rhodes versus John Cena in a rematch from WrestleMania 41. Now, what about John Cena's status? Well, on SmackDown, John Cena with Cody Rhodes cut a cool bass promo where he basically said, I'm back to being the old John Cena. The John Cena that was healed from Elimination Chamber to now, to that Friday SmackDown, the go home show for SummerSlam, is no more. The John Cena just turned babyface. It was a disastrous heel run. If you watch WWE Unreal on Netflix, you will see that Cena really wasn't behind it. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't support it fully. You know what I mean? And it was done because it was assumed at that time that Travis Scott and The Rock would be part of that storyline. Then The Rock declines to show up at WrestleMania, and Travis Scott shows up, and he cost Cody Rhodes the title. And then people are like, okay, that kind of sucked. We wanted The Rock, we got just Travis Scott instead, right? But then they don't further it anymore because Travis Scott doesn't appear on TV anymore. It eventually dissolves his relationship with WWE. So, like, what was the point of that? Well, why do that, right? And then John Cena is having feuds with CM Punk. He's having feuds with Cody, who came back in the tag team match with Jey Uso and him and Logan Paul, and it's just not working out. The feud with CM Punk was pretty good, but even there, Rollins interfered and would look like he was going to cash in his Money in the Bank, and Cena stopped him. So the title, the heel run has been disastrous, and this is John Cena's retirement tour. And like we all knew was going to happen, he wants to go out as a babyface. So rather than have the turn happen in this match, like it was discussed that, as Damian was saying, that it would be a double turn, that it would be Austin versus Bret Hart, circa 1997, kind of like, because that was what The Rock originally wanted. The Rock originally did want Cody to take the offer that was given to him to sell his soul and become a heel. You know what I mean? At Elimination Chamber. But we know that didn't happen. He told The Rock to go fuck himself, right? But The Rock didn't want that. They chose to go with Triple H's option of turning John Cena heel to make the match more interesting. But ultimately, maybe they should have went with The Rock, but they didn't go with either plan. So they're going in as a babyface match, the way that WrestleMania was intended to be. And it was an incredible match. It was one of the best matches I've ever seen. It was something, a really sight to behold. And Cody won the championship. But then, as Cody exits the ring, and a great tribute to his dad too, his entrance. As Cody exits the ring, John Cena's alone in the ring. And whose music hits? Brock Lesnar. That's right, folks. Brock Lesnar is back in the WWE after being gone for a few years because of the Janelle Grant lawsuit. He's back, and he shocked the world, man. And he gives John Cena the F5, laying the babyface John Cena out. And that's it. Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar. Is he with Heyman? You know, Heyman has dissolved his relationship with Roman Reigns, the guy that he turned on Brock for. Now he's with Seth, the World Heavyweight Champion. Maybe Brock could be wanting to gun for the WWE Championship. But John Cena's a babyface, and Brock Lesnar is back in the WWE. It truly was amazing. You know what I mean? It was truly amazing. I love Brock's return. But the Cena storyline makes no sense. Why go after Cena? Now, several wrestling news websites are reporting that John Cena, specifically during his retirement tour, requested to work with Brock Lesnar, and that's why the ban was lifted. Way back in WrestleMania, Daniel Cormier, who was doing commentary, pre-show commentary for the company, said that TKO officially banned Brock Lesnar from all events, right? That's what was going down. So that we assumed that was true because, again, one of the people that Vince McMahon texted with Janelle Grant's photos was Brock Lesnar. He wasn't named specifically, but a former UFC champion. Come on, the only WWE wrestler to ever be a former UFC champion is Brock Lesnar. So that was the giveaway. But he's here to work with John Cena, and apparently in Paris, they will be working against each other. So that's the story, man. We got to see what happens on Raw. Guys, what a year of surprises, man. What a fucking year of surprises. We've chronicled it. It's not over yet either. Man. Peace, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm so happy because Lesnar's legacy with both the UFC and the WWE, both parts of TKO, is intact now. You know what I'm saying? It's intact now. It's not wiped away. Tinker didn't sacrifice his streak for nothing, right? Glad to see Brock back. Peace, guys. Love you.